This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is a follow-up to a story that I covered from West Brom. It's about the murder of a 15-year-old boy called Isaac Brown. He was stabbed to death in New Square just after 9 PM on the 7th of April 2024. When I arrived at the scene, it was raining and there was a large cordon in place and a forensic tent was erected. All we knew at the time is that there was a fight that had occurred between a young boy and some other youths. And of course, it is still quite rare for a murder to occur in the middle of somewhere so busy, so many cameras, because no matter how hard it is to get away with any sort of crime nowadays, it's literally impossible to do so in the city centre. It has now emerged after two teenagers have been convicted of fatally stabbing him to death in West Brom. The details of why it occurred. They have not been convicted of murder, they've been convicted of manslaughter, and we'll discuss that a little bit later on in the story. It was revealed in court that Isaac, with two friends, arranged to meet up with the teenager that would stab him to death, a boy called Reehan Nezir. He was 18 years old now, but at the time I believe he was younger. A 14-year-old boy who could not be named for legal reasons was also with Reehan, and they went to sort out the dispute that had involved somebody that Isaac Brown had known. At around 6:30 PM earlier that day, a 12-year-old boy known to Isaac was robbed by a group in Smethwick, and this included the two defendants, Reehan and the 14-year-old boy who could not be named. The victim was assaulted and his jacket was taken, and Isaac knew the victim and the robbery through a friend, and the various messages were circulated on social media to try to find out the identity of the attackers. The defendants communicated with Isaac and his friend on social media, and this escalated tensions, as it so often does when this is the case and people can communicate so easily nowadays through various different applications. Nezir had posted, "Do you know who I am? I'll teach you a lesson." The two groups met in West Brom. Isaac and his friends were confronted by Reehan's group, and they were armed with weapons. Isaac's group then ran away to New Square, and this is where he was confronted by Nezir and the 14-year-old boy, and CCTV showed the disorder that took place between the teenagers, where weapons were brandished, and tragically Isaac was fatally stabbed in the chest. Nezir from Smethwick and the 14-year-old boy fled, but were both arrested the following day. Today at Bolton Crown Court, the two teenagers admitted manslaughter, robbery and possession of an offensive weapon. They'll be sentenced next year. In tribute, Isaac's family said, "Isaac was a wonderful, loving, kind, happy son, brother, grandson, nephew and cousin. He was fun and mischievous and always smiling and was always there to help. We are unable to understand what has happened. We just want him back and this to have not happened." Detective Inspector A. George from the Homicide Unit said, "Another young life has been lost as the result of young men carrying knives." Two groups met up to seek retribution for a robbery that had happened earlier in the day, and the revenge attack ended in catastrophic consequences. The detective went on to say that the police are doing everything they can to tackle knife crime, not only arresting offenders who choose to carry weapons, but also educating young people and preventing them from getting drawn into that lifestyle. So Isaac's life was taken, and these young boys will serve so many years in prison, but it isn't a murder charge as well. And this is mainly down to the fact that Isaac had arranged to meet them. There was some sort of element of involvement from his part. This would have been the defence's angle for as to why it wasn't murder. Even though there is no report that Isaac carried a weapon or tried to use a weapon, he was just trying to flee the scene. But at the same time, this is how the justice system works, and I look forward to hearing what the viewers have to say on this, and if you think this is fair, and we'll definitely update you on the sentencing of these two boys. So rest in peace to Isaac Brown. Thank you for joining me and following this story, and also the support for the channel makes it possible for me to go to these scenes and to document them as best as possible. I really appreciate if you'd follow me online as well at Scarcity Studios on Instagram, Twitter, Telegram and also TikTok.